Gethsemane scene where they come to arrest, you mean? So
Well,
Professor Eisenman,
26, 36.
what is it, Matthew 26 you said?
Yeah, 36 to 56.
Okay, 26. Okay, it's after the Last Supper and we're not drinking any more wine. Did we do John 14 and 15? I'm rushing through this stuff. I'm just picking out important things. I do apologize. Let me see if I can...
No.
First, in Luke 22, Jesus arms his followers, which may or may not be all authentic. You know, it's just impossible to follow these twists and turns that the Gospels take. And most people just, you know, coalesce them all together and assume they have a picture. But, you know, that's not always satisfactory to do that. I just want to point out to you, I could pick up any gospel or pick out interesting material, but like in John, who is the Son of Man, 12:34. Again, John has the Son of Man, and he starts his light exposition in 35. Yet a little light is with you, walk while you have the light, believe in the light. That's the same as the I would say the introduction of John, where we have the light, you know, and the Word was made flesh, and so on and so forth, and light came into the world, and anything to do with light often we consider to be Neoplatonic thinking from Alexandria and Egypt. Philo is a great exemplar of this, but then the later, what's Neoplatonic mean? Later Platonic thought, new Platonic thought. Plato was a very religious philosopher. People don't realize that. They think of him as secular, sort of, you know, doubting Thomas, critical exponent of dialectic and so on, but he had this very odd theological view of the world, his theory of forms and an otherworldly world that corresponded to this world and so on, with absolute forms and things. And then the Neoplatonic thinkers took this step further, that you could get to that world, and that world had to do with light and things like that. But notice they do then, while you have the light, believe in the light, so you become sons of light. Well, that is an expression known in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The sons of light and the sons of darkness. So you see, you come across these little nuggets buried here and there. And so you're always surprised. Notice here in John 13:23, these are not parallel in the Synoptics, as you know. So I'm just going to the regular New Testament here. There was one of his disciples lying on the breast, and John doesn't usually use the term apostles. I'm not even sure John speaks very often about the 12 apostles or 11 apostles or what have you. That's more like the Synoptics using language of that kind. You say, well, how do you reconcile those things? As you know, I'm not able to reconcile anything. If you don't want to pay attention to the discrepancies, fine, you can reconcile everything. But if you start looking at the discrepancies, then you're in a total illogical universe, which is difficult to figure out where the path through leads, which is what the historical Jesus question is all about. And you say to me, oh, well, you're looking for the historical Jesus in this class. Yes, and you say, well, you say you haven't found him. I say, yes, I'm not sure we can find him with any specificity. He may be here, but the specificity is what we're talking about. So then you mean you don't think there was an arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane? Where do they get that idea from? I don't know. I don't know if the arrest took place in the Garden of Gethsemane or didn't take place in the Garden of Gethsemane. I have no idea. I can't judge finally about that. You have to be the judge. If you think there's something historical in that particular scene, that's fine. To me, I'm not sure. I can't tell. I don't know. There's so many things that are, contradictory that if I were in a courtroom, I'm sure if I was a good defense lawyer getting someone off a criminal charge, I would be able to find huge areas here where I could drive my truck of counterproductive evidence through it and get my defendant off with evidence of this kind. So again, if you want to see put your best foot forward and see it as positively as you can, well, I'm sure you can find your historical material that is satisfactory to you. So don't think you shouldn't or can't. The question is it finally reliable, and will you be able to convince everybody? And we don't know. If you say ill will people, no, okay, but even people of neutral will who want to look for this, can you make a convincing case? I don't know. Here's a case in point, line 23, chapter 13. And there was one of his disciples lying on the breast whom Jesus loved. So we never heard about that in any of the other Gospels. So, well, that's extra material, put them all together. I don't know about that. That's one way of looking at it. That's the way most people have taken it for 1900 years. And who is this one lying on Jesus' breast whom he loved? Oh, well, go to the Da Vinci Code and you end up that it's Mary Magdalene, you know. That's who they say, Leonardo da Vinci knows everything about Jesus, supposedly. He's painting a picture and it's a woman-like person in his picture, so now we know it was Mary Magdalene, and that proves that 14 centuries before, Mary Magdalene was Jesus' girlfriend. Oh yeah, okay, come on, that's really a tissue of excellent proof. That tells me, quite frankly, nothing. You know, nothing, because there's something in a painting in Leonardo da Vinci that tells me something. It tells me that Leonardo was probably bisexual. That's all it tells me. Which we know he probably was. In fact, he probably wasn't even bisexual. He was probably just bi. I don't think he probably touched a woman in his life, okay? No, I'll leave that one alone. I won't go there. Don't go there, Diane. You know who said that? Don't go there, Diane? When Diane Sawyer interviewed Mel Gibson and she asked him about his father who was a Holocaust denier, he said to her, "Don't go there, Diane, don't go there." Hey, Mel, why not go there? You know, that's an important point, isn't it? Don't go there, Diane, don't go there. In other words, I threaten you, like you did the Malibu police and got the person who arrested him almost fired from the police force there. In any case, let's go back here to this. So there was one of the disciples whom Jesus loved. That's supposed to be John.